What we're looking at here is the Kayo USA K2 230. This could be the best entry-level dirt bike ever made. So here it is, guys, the Kayo K2 230. But we're ready to take this puppy out there onto the trail. First thing, stepping on this bike, this is an air-cooled electric start motor. That motor is mated to a 5-speed transmission that lets you take advantage of the wide-open torque range this bike has to offer. Alright guys, here we go, leaving out of the shop on the K2 230. I do have to say that the muffler that they put on these machines sounds really good. It's throaty, it's deep, it's got some sound to it, and I think that there is our 5th gear. When it comes to the suspension up front, we find inverted forks and a single monoshock in the rear. The suspension has been tuned to the sturdy frame and yields a dirt bike that is ready to hit the trails. Second, third, fourth, fifth. 5th gear, guys. So this bike, I think, would be the ultimate back of your RV bike. As far as actual positioning on the motorcycle, it's a smaller framed motorcycle than the full-size 250s. The seat height of this entry-level dirt bike is 34.5 inches, and the wheelbase is 52.75 inches. This bike has a total ground clearance of 12.5 inches and holds 1.77 gallons of fuel. Comes in at a weight of just 231 pounds. All right, 0 miles an hour. Let's get a top speed run on this guy real quick. Ready? Go, 5th gear, pin wide open. About 50 miles an hour is what we're getting. Now the suspension on this bike is ample. It's soaking up these bumps pretty good. Let's go check this place out over here real quick. There's some like large river rock type rocks. Oh yeah. When it comes to stopping power, we have hydraulic disc brake up front and a hydraulic disc brake in the rear. The sand right here. So this 230 is a lot more barky than I would have imagined it be firing up at the shop. The Kayo K2 230 could definitely be the best entry-level dirt bike ever made. Is that an alligator? No, just kidding. There's no alligators out here. I mean, it's true. It's an air-cooled, 4-stroke, reliable engine. It's delivering great power. It's very useful power. It's got a 5-speed transmission that lets you take advantage of the wide open torque that this bike has to offer. They say that this bike is suspended. They say this bike's suspension is tuned to the sturdy frame and yields a dirt bike that's ready to hit the trails. I can't tell you the suspension is stiff. I have bottomed out a couple times, but it's doing a really good job. Again, I'm not your typical rider. Now the best part about this bike is if your kid is big enough to fit on it, it's not going to be crazy for them. They're not going to get out of control. This is the perfect bike for every member of the family.
wheels. We have 80, 100, 21 up front, and a 110, 90, 18 in the rear.
Check it out, the Kayo K2 230. This is supposed to be a super mild-mannered trail bike, but I gotta say, this thing's got quite a bit of bark. Let's go and fire this thing up for you. That's right. This guy's gonna be one of the least expensive 4-stroke motorcycles that you could purchase for dirt bike riding out here. If your kid has a little pit bike and you want to chase them around, this bike right here is the money. It actually goes really good, top speed of 50 miles an hour. Suspension works pretty good. This thing's a lot of fun, and it comes in at less than $3,000. Kayo K2 230. Alright guys, so I've been out here about an hour on this 230. I've taken it through some 2 tracks, some single track, down to some sand, over some gnarly rocks out here in the desert. And I thought this was going to be a super mild-mannered trail bike. And while it is a trail bike, and while it is inexpensive, I'm really impressed with how well the suspension is holding up. I mean, I've owned a Chinese knockoff 250 before, and it was a big pile of junk. But this guy right here, man, it's quality. Suspension, obviously it's not super plush, but it's just fine for being out here doing what we're doing today, just hammering some trails and having some fun. I think if you're looking for a couple motorcycles for the family, or is the jump ready? Let's just find a way to get that on video. Alright, now that we're not all bouncing around. So I really think if you're looking for a companion motorcycle, if you're looking for... Oh, what? Shut down. If you're looking for a companion motorcycle, if you're looking for a bike to ride around in the desert or out at the dunes or around the trails or campsite while your kid's riding around on their pit bike, the medium-sized frame of this motorcycle makes it perfect for that type of riding. It's not huge. It's smaller than a traditional 250 frame, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. Again, I've been out here about an hour today just ripping around out here in the desert. We've had it through all kinds of terrain. We've had it through sand and through rocks and through some whoops and some sharp drop-off sections. It's been all over the place. And honestly, it'd be fun to take this to a Japanese and European shootout where everyone's going to laugh at you when you pull up in the parking lot on this thing. There's no place that this thing couldn't go. It does have a top speed of 50 miles an hour, which would be a little bit slow when chasing down some of those guys. Now, if you need to go faster, there's the K4 250, which we're about ready to go jump on right now. There's also the K6 EFI, and then later today, if you're looking for some 2-stroke fun out there, we're going to jump on the KT 250, which is Kayo's 2-stroke version. There we go. Let's wind it out. That's it. That was that 5th gear that we get topped out at. We're seeing between 45 and 50 miles as our top speed on this thing. You hear that muffler though? The bark that this bike has for being a 230 right out of the box, it's pretty awesome. I really like the fact that the choke lever is up here on the handlebar and not underneath where the carb is. The next two motorcycles we're going to ride, that choke button is up underneath, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. That's some old school technology there. As far as seat comfort goes, the seat comfort is nice. I've been sitting kind of mid-seat. I do find as I move back in the seat, it gets a little bit bony back there. I feel more of the frame of the motorcycle instead of the actual seat. Anyway, we're back at Motor City. Time to jump on the next motorcycle, take it for a rip, so I can then come back and give you guys my synopsis or my wrap-up on the differences between each of these neat machines from Kayo.
If you have any further questions about this Kayo K2 230, please leave a comment down below and ask away. Or you can click the link down below and go visit azmotocity.com. And if you'd like to talk to us on the phone, we're always here for you. The number is 623-777-1626. Thank you for your interest in Kayo motorcycles. Until next time, take care and ride safe out there.